Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of High Energy Girl. And today's amazing guest is Sandi. And Sandi is a member of Quantum Healing Systems. And by wearing her Quantum Twine Wave device, she has experienced so many amazing results. And the biggest one is it's helping her with cancer. So let's go and hear from Sandi. Hey everyone, welcome to High Energy Girl, a podcast helping women to age stronger because it is never too late to get fit, be strong, and feel sexy. I'm your host, Tracy Gluhide, health coach and personal trainer and founder of HighEnergyGirl.com. Each week, we will either have a guest interview, which will provide you encouragement or an actionable tip to help you age stronger, or I will do a solo episode. Please also join our awesome Facebook group called High Energy Girls, and I'm looking forward to see you on the inside of that group and hope you enjoy today's show. Hey Sandi, thanks so much for coming to spend some time with me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Well, I hear you have quite the story, so I'm excited too to hear it. So can you start off by telling us a little bit about how you were feeling prior to coming to QHS?
Well, I went through a pretty devastating diagnosis. January of 22, I got diagnosed with 4A metastasized cancer, ovarian, and it was in my left lung, my stomach, my liver, and I had a large tumor in the ovaries and so January until June, I went through all the serious chemos every other week, very, very intense, went through all the deals of going bald-headed. I was long blonde hair all my life, and now I'm short gray. This is 5 months growth. And it came back in curly, and it was long and straight. So that's been a real adjustment for me. But I had major surgery in June. And our device came in the latter part of June because we had joined in early adoption with QHS. And we had been waiting for the device for months. And of course, it came in after my surgery, which was fine. I started wearing the device when I came home from the hospital. Okay. And from there, it has just been uphill. It has been uphill, and the doctors are like amazed because my cancer margins were at 2,500 and 0 to 35 is normal.
2,500 meaning that so that's like a good thing, right? So
2,500 was very bad. Everything was malignant. Everything was malignant. And they basically told me it's treatable, but not curable. Well, now it's curable, because I am in total remission. When I came out of the hospital, my margins were at 237, and they told me they probably won't go down from here, but don't worry about that. You know, we will do this every 3 weeks. We'll take your test. Well, I started wearing my device, and I went in for my 6 weeks checkup 2 weeks early. You know, after the surgery. This is where they cut you from the sternum to the pelvic and open you up and take everything out that could possibly be cancerous. And I started wearing my device to my treatments because I had listened to the calls on Friday nights and different ones asking Cynthia and the doctors, do you still go through treatment? You know, what do you do? And of course, the answers were, yes, you still go through your treatment. But I wore my device in every treatment thereafter from June. And every single month, they decreased. And I just had a preventative treatment tomorrow, a week ago. And my cancer margins are at 21.
Wow.
21. And they just, I have the device on me every treatment. They said when I went in for my checkup that it was really amazing how my body had healed in that 4-week period, because they didn't expect it for 6 to 8 weeks. I never told them about my device. They don't know anything about it. I just keep it right in here because we got we had the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Then that quit working. And so then we got our other devices, and that's where Sally came in, and she helped us, get them a little quicker. And I have not missed a day of wearing it since the day that I got it. And so I got the larger one, but I like the little one. So I switched with my husband.
Oh.
I take the little one because it's easier to put in different places that it's on me at all times. And most people look at me and say, you would never know you had cancer as bad as you had it. And I said, that's because I got a miracle. And that is my story, and I'm not letting that go. And they can tell me all they want that this could go up, but I said, no, it's not going to go up. It's just going to get better and better. And
wow,
so
that's amazing. So it basically went down by 90%, even though they said it will not get better than this, but don't worry about it.
Right. And it's gone down to, my doctor came in last Friday and she said, now, don't be alarmed if those numbers I know you're very excited about the 21. I said, absolutely. Because it went down 4.2 points from the other 3 weeks. I'm in what they call a preventative treatment, which they did not have years ago. Years ago, when you were done, you were done. And if it came back, then you were done.
Mm.
They have a preventative treatment that is every 3 weeks for a year. And I'll be through with that preventative treatment next May. But they show absolutely zero signs of cancer in my body whatsoever. Zero.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I tell my oldest grandson, he's 22, and he was the wayward child that got in a good bit of trouble and came to us in the middle of my going into surgery. Just a long story. Had been in jail, and I said, God has saved me for you, son, because I was able to share the word with him while he was in jail for 6 months, and he accepted Christ into his life. And he sees what I've gone through, and he said, I do believe you were saved from me, Nana. I said, you have to have direction. So,
oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
And I told John, I said, I think he needs one of these devices to wear. Bless his heart, he's been through a lot. And so, life has been a real struggle. Some kids have it great and others don't.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you said that, because I had a conversation on Tuesday with a gentleman, and he said something that was pretty interesting, because he was talking about one of his clients, and I'm going to do something on this to tell you all about it in detail. But basically what he says is that he was talking about the children in the tunnels, and he said that they came here for that. And,
wow.
like your grandson, he came here to have that experience. And so while it's hard to watch, as parents or grandparents, or, any of us to watch trauma with others, they decided to come here to have that experience. So different perspective, right?
Oh, absolutely. John and I saw the movie Sounds of Freedom on 4th of July. That's what we chose to do, the 4th of July. And it was just mind-boggling and eye-opening. And, I never realized the depth children went to that have been abused. And it really, it touched home, so deeply.
I'm going to go see it. It was like the biggest selling movie on the 4th.
Right.
Yeah. Very good. Good awareness.
Yes, it really is.
I know that, Sandi, the cancer is a huge, huge benefit, but have you noticed anything else?
Well, I've noticed that my skin, which I think is looking more youthful with what I've been through, because most people, when they've been through what I've been through and still in treatments and still on medication, they have that, I say it's a cancer look about them. I don't have that. And I told John, I said, I believe the device is absolutely helping my skin. He said, I absolutely do too. Because, and my mood, I do have a few aches and pains, but nothing like I see in others. I mean, I go to the center every 3 weeks and have been going for a year and a half. And it's devastating to watch other patients and what they're going through that don't have the hope and what we have been given through QHS and what we have, and the positivity that, we put into ourselves through listening and participating. We participated in one of the Tuesday night groups a while back, which was a lot of fun. And I've just noticed many things with my body. It's just amazing. And like one lady said, her leg was hurting, and I have a problem with my right leg, the muscles, and this is side effects, that it works on your muscles. And I put the device in my sock, like she said, and slept in it with my foot, with it under my foot. Mm-hmm. Honestly, the pain was gone the next day. Sometimes I'll get headaches. I'll put it on my head and just lay there if it comes in the middle of the night, and it'll be gone, or on my shoulder, and it will be gone. And I just tell everybody about it. And we have told a few people, but people are very skeptical if they're not engaged, in what's going on. And so we are absolutely firm believers in everything that's going on, and so grateful to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I feel like we were all called here. We all came here to have this experience. And so it's quite exciting. And, if you want to share something with like friends, family, people that you love so that they can see the vision that you see, perhaps you can send them to a member testimonial. Right now, I have about 75 that are already uploaded, and I'm uploading 3 more today and probably 3 more tomorrow. And so that will show people the encouragement, It's amazing. I interviewed somebody yesterday that had long COVID and had a chronic cough in the hospital. She was in the hospital in her 80s for months and months and months. When she got her device, her cough went away within 2 days.
Oh, that's one more thing. I've had that cough because I had that in my left lung and on the edge of my right lung. And I had nodules in the upper part of my lungs. And I went to the pulmonary doctor on Thursday because I have to, and I took my CT scans. Gone.
Wow.
No cancer in the lungs. So I don't have to see him until December. I have had so many doctor's appointments, but mostly follow-ups and just a reaffirmation that this is gone and it's not coming back. And I got it at, a late stage in my life, 75 years old, at the time that I was diagnosed, which is crazy.
Well, I can't wait till I wish I was a fly on a wall when you go back to all those doctors when, post QARC and tell them what you've done.
Oh, I know. I will.
That's going to be amazing. So that brings us to our last question is you get to take 75 years of life lessons, experience, and wisdom and apply them to a healthy 30-year-old body with your do-over.
Oh, awesome.
What excites you about that, my dear?
My gosh. I mean, so much to share with others and to give them the experience that I've been through. And now here I am today. It's just going to be mind-boggling. It really is. It's overwhelming to me to even think that could happen. It's like when they say they'll grow you certain parts of your body. I don't want some of those back. I don't want those back that they took out, but it really is. It's just so exciting to move forward and to see what's going to happen next. And we got away from listening on to some of the calls just because of different circumstances in our life. And we got back engaged last Friday again. And when we couldn't do it at home, we would listen if we were in the car driving or something, I have two elderly parents that 96 and 98 that are still alive and living on their own.
Wow.
But I have to go and help my brother once every 6 weeks. And he just kind of took over for a year while I was in treatment because he's also a cancer survivor. And he says he is absolutely amazed that I made it because he didn't think I was going to.
Well, God had different plans.
He did. Gave me positive energy and an overwhelming desire for his word. And I was able to take advantage of that every day in my home and have my private Bible study and prayer time and just talk to my higher power about what I wanted for my life and to be able to be a witness to others. So am I looking forward to the QARC? Yes, I am.
Yeah. What are you going to do for yourself?
I don't know. It's like I can't think that far ahead. It's like one day at a time. I know that I want to get the new device, the white one that they've been that is coming out. Not ours are still working. I guess John and I we had 2 of the small ones and we lost one. We don't know where it went, but it kind of disappeared. I don't know if somebody took it or I have no idea. But then we got the second larger one and that, gave us 1 each. But we're looking forward to getting the little white one or even getting the home system at some point when it's in our budget. Mm-hmm. But there right now, because we've had quite a bit of expense with, when you go through cancer, it's not free.
Oh gosh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to change that paradigm with QHS for so many people in the future.
I mean, it's amazing that we have watched this grow like we have through the last year. The people coming in and just all over the world, all over the other countries. And it's amazing.
Yeah. I think we're in 25 countries, if I heard that correctly. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I am looking forward to having you back for part 2 after your QARC experience, because I am so excited for you, Sandi. You are so beautiful and inside and out. And it's just a miracle that you've been able to, survive this and thrive.
Yeah. I told my husband, I said, you haven't missed a meal, have you? Because I loved it. And my kids were like, John's going to have to take over. And I said, no, I can still do this. So I haven't fallen into that ditch of poor me. In other words, I can do this.
That's good. Actually, that's really, really good, because there's a statistic that shows that when men retire, they die. Like they just don't have the same need to be needed. It's a part of our limbic brain. So that's probably something that also helped you, is that you were needed, right? To do those meals and appreciated.
Yeah, I think so. I do, because when I don't feel good and I can't, I feel like something's missing. And John says, you don't need to feel that way. And then sometimes I just say, you're on your own, buddy, tonight.
Yeah.
And then I don't feel so bad. But I said, why do I feel so guilty? Because I've done it all of my life for the kids and for him and for my parents. I said, that's the way mother grew me up. I said, she did too good of a job on help caretaker, because she still at 96 gets up every morning, makes breakfast for my dad, makes lunch for my dad. And they both are in their early stages of dementia. And, but they're still very much aware of each other. And she still cleans the house and makes the beds. And people are like, oh my God, she does. I said, good genes. And she says, how in the world did you end up with cancer with our genes? I said, I don't know. It's a testimony. Why? I've never asked why. From the day of diagnosis, I looked at my oncologist and I said, I don't know where you are spiritually, but God's in the driver's seat and I am his passenger on this journey. And I'm not looking back. I'm moving forward. And
wow.
She gets very excited when I come in, because I come in dressed, coordinated, color coordinated. And she gets very excited because I've got that temperament about myself to not look bad and want anybody to feel sorry for me, because I don't. God has a plan.
And you are an inspiration to all those around you. I'm absolutely sure of that.
Well, I hope so. I try to.
I look forward to the day that you can walk into the center and explain to people, or even show them this video, so that they too can join and have hope and have a different experience than what they're going through.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, my darling Sandi. Well, thank you so much for coming to spend some time with me. I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you, Tracy, and you have a wonderful day. It's been great.
You too, beautiful. We'll see you next time. Oh my gosh, that was incredible. She's such a beautiful lady, and I hope that you enjoyed her testimonial. And for details, please head on over to quantumhealingsystems.org. And we thank you so much for listening. Make it a beautiful day. This podcast contains the opinion and thoughts of its host and guests. It is intended to provide helpful and informative material on the subjects covered. All statements made on the podcast have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. If the listener requires professional assistance or advice, please contact your personal medical doctor. Both host and guest specifically disclaim any responsibility for any liability, loss, or risk personal or otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence directly or indirectly of the use and application of any of the contents of these episodes. Like I said, this is my opinion and I could be wrong.